All right. What is up, y'all? What is up? And welcome to today's edition of La Cheap Pop Podcast.
Yeah.
Right here on First GenXers and Double KK Double Network, YouTube and Twitch.
Yep.
Yes, we are all over the place. Y'all can't help but to find us everywhere. So just keep tuning in with the fun. All right. So this week we're going to start off with the subject that's going to, we're going to start out with our normal segment to open the show, which is all right, hot topics. That's the Hot Pockets theme song there, not Hot Topics.
Yeah.
But last
week, photo negative Jim Gaffigan.
I will say, you guys are gonna say to yourself, well, wait a minute, y'all. Y'all talked about this last week, and y'all pretty much covered it all. And they did a pretty good job.
I covered it all.
Yeah, he covered it all. I only got to cover through episode 5.
Yeah,
and so I'm here to tell you about my thoughts on and to discuss with Dave my thoughts on the last 3 episodes. I'm in complete agreement with him about the episode 6. Nightmare on a Gurney.
Mm-hmm.
Was a pretty interesting episode in the sense of the way they kept flashing forwards and backwards, like between his time in the military and just different points in his life, and then to him being cut open and dissected and whatever the doctor felt like doing to try to get the results that she wanted.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the episode ended. I'll say it like this. That episode confused me because maybe it's a noir movie trope, because like I never really watched a lot of noir, but like the fact that she manages to save her son only for him to die along with her was just like,
That
okay, so
is
what was the point of that whole storyline? Like,
that was a pulp, a pulp thing. It's the constant action till a
mm,
resolution.
mm,
Each action needs to go into the next one. Raymond Chandler, famous pulp writer who gave us Philip Marlowe,
mm,
um, did something where if you ever find yourself stuck
yeah,
in writing, have a man with a gun bust into the scene.
okay.
You don't need to know why. You can figure that out later.
Just have the man with the
Just
gun
yeah,
busting.
just go action to action to action, and that's kind of a legacy that the comic books built off of. So, and also a lot of um, the classic tagline for the Shadow: "The weed of crime bears bitter fruit." That you do wrong, and your actions have consequences. They will Your actions will lead to your downfall.
It's kind of
Uh,
like to give a layman's term. Well, this isn't even layman's term description. It's kind of like a Pyrrhic victory,
exactly.
where you win the battle, but you lose everything.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, like
And
I go ahead.
there's an old 40s and 50s radio show that was very popular called The Whistler,
Mm,
um, where the the narrator basically is there and is framing the crime as it happens step by step, and then it's only at the end that we see how the efforts of the criminal were totally wasted or
mm.
come back to trap them.
Okay, yeah, and see, and yeah, I can get that kind of feel from the doctor's story because you had
Oh yeah,
this woman
that
that
was
for
that was
one
very that was really popular back in the day,
back in the day.
because the Shadow didn't start off as a crime fighter. He
Right.
was actually started off as the narrator and the framing device for the story that
Right.
was there. It's the Scheherazade um, effect,
Right.
where you have somebody outside narrating, and that was popular. That led to the Whistler. That led to a bunch of other radio programs copying the same trope.
Style. Right.
And then Street and Smith saw what they had with the Shadow and turned him into, the popularity turned him into a crime fighting vigilante,
Got you. Got you.
and was the one
Well,
who was seeking the justice rather than just retelling the tale of,
right.
you know, crime gone wrong.
And just to move us a little bit forward, I have to say this. I love me some Janet.
Oh yeah,
Like, like when Janet found out that
yep,
Cat was the one that had turned in
yeah,
whatchamacallit to the doctor, Janet wasn't having none
yeah,
of it.
yeah, exactly.
Like she wasn't
She,
having none of it. Just came out, pop. She was like, "All right,
yep,
I
I
deserve
deserve it.
that one."
Yeah,
And she was like, "Wow, that was for me."
for me, yeah.
Yeah,
Janet,
she
the actress Karen Hernandez, I believe,
yes,
she is fantastic. I am going to be
fantastic.
definitely
Uh,
eager to see what else she does in the future. Um,
uh,
but yeah,
I
she was great. Robbie was great,
yes,
um,
yes.
and both actors kind of when they were on screen, even with Nicolas Cage, when they were on screen, they kind of stole the show and were the centerpiece.
Hmm. A lot of times,
Yeah.
a lot of times, and I can even say Robbie's impression of the spider was
Oh
was
yeah,
was
that
pretty
was
hilarious.
hilarious. Yeah.
Like. And you know what? You know the only thing that didn't happen that I would have loved to seen is that what they didn't tell you is her antidote has the exact reverse on normal people. So when he stabs Robbie with the needle, thinking that he's killing the powers of the spider, he's actually giving Robbie powers. Like I would have loved to have seen that. I know it doesn't fit into any
Yeah,
of their tropes. It would just would have been funny to see,
yeah,
like him just become a superpowered dude
yeah,
because he got stabbed in the neck. Um,
yep,
I did like the turn, the not eventual turn, but the eventual anti-hero turn of Sandman.
yeah. A Flint, yeah,
And yeah, in going against
megawatt,
Megawatt.
yeah,
And yeah, like I like the story. I even like the story with Megawatt
yeah. He was
because
the villain that you love to hate.
yeah, because he
Yeah,
was just
everyone else. I mean, Flint and Lonnie, they were victims.
right.
They were victims of a lot of things, not just of the experimentation. Um, Lonnie was a victim of the society at the time,
Yep.
and
Yep.
you know, Flint was able to fall in, back in with Silvermane's mob. Lonnie just didn't have anywhere to go because he was a good
Yep.
person,
Yep.
and he really
He just
wasn't a
protected
criminal
the neighborhood.
until his buddy Flint hooked him up.
Yeah. Then he started working for. But I still like that even in working for like in the scenes when you have Lonnie holding
Yeah,
back
yeah,
Cat when
yeah,
she's going, he's like, no, 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 no. Like I love how they show that he still has that side of him. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's not fully
moral
gangster.
complexity. Yeah,
Yeah,
really great
yeah.
moral complexity. Um,
Um,
yeah,
and yeah, when they stabbed him in the eye, though, that me
that was
dying
like,
because he was just
ooh,
got this needle
ow.
just all hanging out his eye.
And I'm going in for cataract surgery in about a month, and I am like
Oh,
absolutely dreading the.
uh,
You remember Star Trek: Next Generation converting Picard to Locutus with that needle slowly going through? Yeah, it's like no, I don't want to have these kind of dreams.
uh,
Okay.
they gonna implant something, mama. They gonna implant something. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then the final episode was really like it was three sections. It was the
Yeah.
section between Cat and Silvermane.
Yeah.
It was the section between who was it? Cat and Silvermane, and then it was kind of a split section between not Robbie, but
Flint,
Nicholas
Cat,
Cage
and
character,
Ben.
the
What? Yeah.
Spider.
Yeah.
uh
Flint, Cat,
or
Flint,
Ben,
Cat,
between
yeah.
Ben and the and Flint and Megawatt,
Yeah.
and then the battle between Megawatt and Flint over Cat,
Right.
you know, and so yeah, like the way it just broke down, and then you had the final chapter
The
where
denouement.
Ben decides not to give up his powers. He
Yeah.
decides not to take the antidote, and he decides
Because
to
that's what noir is really all about.
yeah,
Having a burned out main character um, find his reason again.
right.
I mean, the Casablanca ending.
Right. I love how he's like, you get this. When he's talking to Janet and Robbie, and he's like, you get a newspaper. You get a detective agency. What do I get out of it? And they're like, a new lease on life,
Yeah.
a reason to live. Like, like it was just like
Yeah.
it to me that's kind of like when they're slapping the viewer in the face with the message. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
But
it's not a bad thing. It's not in a bad way
yeah.
if it's done the right way.
Yeah. And again, noir is generally, classic noir is pretty heavy-handed with the, moral lessons.
Yeah.
And it's like, just in case you were asleep here.
What was it? What is it that don't be a menace while drinking your gin and juice in the hood. And there's a little baby every time they do a scene. They had a message. but needless to say, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. There doesn't need here's the thing about it. This is one of those things. It doesn't need a season two.
It
Like
does. It's self-contained, and it really
yes,
doesn't.
it told a
Um,
good enough story. We don't need to see maybe with the multiverse saga at some point Ben shows up
yeah,
on a big screen in the
yeah,
MCU. You know, it's just a
yeah,
part of a multiverse project. But as far as the Spider-Noir series, it can end where it ended, and that's
right.
fine. They tied up
And
all the stories in a nice little bows.
also, MCU wise, um, they're focusing more on the possibility of Nick Cage returning as Johnny Blaze, since Ghost Rider never really stood much of a chance because of
Yeah.
the writing and directing in there.
Um. All I know is this: people can hate me all they want. I love Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze. He did not
Oh
do a
yeah,
bad job.
yeah.
I don't take anything away from him.
Same
I
with
want Robbie.
Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah, 100%. Did not do a bad job. Want to say
He was a great character in a bad film.
right, right. Kind of like Val Kilmer in that Batman movie. But
Yeah.
gonna say but
You want Robbie Reyes.
I want Robbie Reyes.
I
Like bottom
want
line, I
Danny
want Robbie
Ketch.
Reyes. What's up?
I want Danny Ketch.
Yeah. There's so many other Ghost Riders that you can do outside of Nicolas Cage's that it
Right.
just doesn't make sense to me to go back to a well that doesn't really need to
Right.
be retapped.
And that was, yeah, I don't
You
disagree
know,
with you on that. Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy if they did it. Like, okay, cool. But again, you now establish something with Spider Noir that you in the multiverse that you can introduce Nick
Yeah.
Cage into the MCU as a different character. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to come back as Johnny Blaze. You can bring
Yeah.
him in as Ben Riley, the Spider. You know what I'm saying, from
Yeah.
the Noir universe.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what they do with it. But it's a nice little self-contained thing. No need for a season 2, 3, or 4. Just it is what it is, and it will stand the test of time. So, all right. So the second part of Hot Topics for this week is another review of this last Wednesday. They dropped episodes 4 through 6 of Legend of Vox Machina season 4.
Yeah.
And this just as always gets better by the episode.
Yep.
Like the Darrington again, an admirable supplement for Scanlan.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Like they didn't have the comedy of Scanlan, so now they are replacing it with the Tyron Darrington. Um, but he's turning out to be a character worth keeping around, and I like that.
Yeah.
Just like Scanlan. Like Scanlan was always joking, he was always hitting on something whenever he could.
Yeah.
But when it came down to it, he contributed. And he did his part to fight the battle. And I see Darrington in kind of a similar way. There's one of the episodes. I want to say, and that's the other thing too, is that every episode kind of has its own theme, because the episode 5 is actually called De Rolo's 11. And
Yeah.
has an Ocean's 11 type theme to how the episode is drawn.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoyed the different themes with all of it. I think this is just we're just halfway through the season at this point.
Yeah.
I do love the dynamic of them finally the sister and Percy finding out, like Percy telling
Vex.
who was it? No, he didn't tell. Did he tell Vex? Yeah, he told
I
Vex.
don't know. I'm just guessing because I know the general plot line of
Yeah.
the Vox Machina campaign.
Well, Percy tells, I believe Vex, that him and what's her name him and his sister got married. All right.
Oh, Vax. Okay.
Vax.
Vax is the guy. Vex is the girl.
Okay, Vax. He tells Vax that him and Vex got married.
Yeah.
While they were all separated, and then Keyless and Vax tell, I think it's Percy, that he has the blight, and that he was given it by the god he's championing for.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's just hilarious to me because the three of them processing that like made an entire episode just that much better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bax having his breakdown because he wasn't at his sister's wedding, like what they consider to be one of the most important days of her life, you know, and he wasn't there. And then her going to what's her name and fucking getting her drunk and complaining to her about how she was pissed that she knew he had the blight and she never told her. And then the voice acting is amazing, but just the people who put this together as far as the overall story is just it's epic to me.
And
I can't wait to see where it goes.
What it is Vox Machina is basically a dramatization of the stuff that happens in the Critical Role campaign.
Okay.
You know, or the multiple campaigns in there. Wait a minute, what the hell? Okay.
What's up?
So, it's basically, this is the way that for all the anime fans, this is essentially the exact same thing as Record of Lodoss War.
Okay. I
Because,
vaguely remember that anime.
Yeah, these are it's the happenings of a tabletop role playing game, and then they dramatize it in another medium, in either writing or in the animated for Vox Machina, and so and a lot of it, it's part of the beauty of tabletop role playing, where when you're with a good group, you can handle stuff like that, the dramatic stuff, the really heartrending stuff like that.
Right.
You know, and you can improv it, as opposed to when you're still junior high, high school, and everyone's basically Beavis and Butthead. It's like, yeah, I hit on the tower.
Yeah.
Big boobs. Yeah.
Oh man,
we're all like that at that age.
No, yeah. Oh, at that age, that was the boobies age. I'll say, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I think that like I said, it takes. I was thinking back on what you were saying last week about the role of Critical Role and what you call it on Dungeons and Dragons, and the fact that people expect every session to be
this absolute masterpiece of storytelling. They don't realize that these are professional voice actors, and you know, a god of a DM, to be quite honest, and that everything that they see on Vox Machina is a dramatization. It's been edited, a little bit of filler added in, and a little bit of story just to make everything a little more coherent,
a little palatable.
Yeah. It's like it's like the stories that friends tell. You know, it's like, you know, the stories that we have of our time. You know, Shotgun when the walls fell for us. You know, that time at the house in Oakland when Jamil and I came back and we just busted in, pretending to do a home invasion and scared the crap out of Abdul and Ladon.
Man,
it's the stories that it's the in-joke stories that we tell, and they're just putting it out
Well, also
to
say it like this.
accessible
It's
to everyone. Yeah,
it's like if you told the story of your life and everybody took all the exciting parts and just lined
yeah,
them up back to back to back.
exactly.
Like it doesn't show you the 5 years in between those two exciting moments. It just shows you this moment after that moment after that moment after that moment.
Yeah,
And so it doesn't show the role for this or role for that,
right.
to be able to
It
determine.
doesn't show the roles in there. Um, it doesn't take into account that Matt Mercer has to edit plans on the fly
Hmm.
to, okay, either they're going through something, just wiping through it because their rolls are amazing, or they're rolling like crap tonight, so he's got to re-edit and fudge a little of his dice rolls
Yeah,
for resistances and stuff like that, so that he doesn't just complete. He's balancing out the encounters on the fly so
yeah.
that they're not too easy and they're not too difficult. That there's a balance there, and that's a hard thing to do.
And only the truly good
Right.
DMs
Yeah.
do it can
And
do it and act on it.
some systems make that easier.
Uh,
Some systems make it harder. But D&D is kind of a hard one to adjust on the fly, and it's kin like
yeah,
Pathfinder, because it's not like, okay, uh, they're stomping the red dragon. What can I do? Oh, we'll have another red dragon show up
yeah,
in there, and
yeah,
that just completely throws off everything. Um,
yeah.
I've gone through this as a player, not as a DM, but Star Wars I stick to pretty easily. It's like, oh, they're wiping through. Oh well, stormtrooper reinforcements come in. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. There's more. There's always more to battle than what you thought there was to battle with a
Yeah,
good DM. Like, yeah,
yeah. It's just
uh,
harder with fantasy role playing.
that it is. That it is. All right, so we're gonna close out hot topics there. Jump right over into our
Oh,
favorite segment.
before we close it
What's
out,
up?
let me ask: have you also been watching uh, the companion series to Vox Machina, The Mighty Nine?
No, I have not. I'm
Okay.
going to start watching it probably sometime this week. I work in the mornings,
Yeah.
so I normally will look for something to watch later on in the
Yeah.
afternoons, early evenings. So yeah, but I plan on checking it out because I've
It'll be
wanted to ever since the first
yeah.
time that
It's
they
also
dropped it.
really great because you get to see uh, voices that are familiar to you, but with different characters, and
Okay,
so it's different presentations, slight altering of the voice, so it's not the same.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah, but it's still the same group of people doing all
yeah,
the voices.
yeah.
It's funny how they got themselves one gigantic job just by playing D&D, taping or video, recording
Right,
it and putting it on YouTube.
right.
Uh,
Well, yeah, it's big enough that Hasbro tried to extort them for a slice of the merchandise. So
oh, really now? All
that's
right,
yeah, that's another tale for another time.
for another time. All right, let's jump on over to. All right, pop culture corner, 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 corner. All right, so first up in pop culture corner is that Marvel Zombies is been officially 100% confirmed to return right before season 2 of it drops. They are I guess we will be getting Marvel's pesky zombie problem set to infect a new series of comics. It's always comics, damn it. The publisher has announced Marvel Zombies Warzone, which will see the Punisher tackling the undead. Comic Beach shared the full details of Marvel Zombies Warzone, which will be written by Tom Waltz, who did Last Ronin, Wolverine, Blood Hunt. with art by Jamie Infante. Warzone is planned to be a 5-issue series which sees New York street level vigilantes uniting after both the Avengers and the Fantastic Fours failed to save the world from a zombie virus that's infecting their city. The Punisher will be joined by Luke Cage, Elektra, Iron Fist, Moon Knight in the new miniseries when the first issue drops on September 2nd.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Yep. The one name that I noticed they didn't put in there, Blade. You know, what, Blade's too busy, or it's like, no, man, I just hunt vampires. These are zombies. That's totally different. Totally different.
That's a human problem. Y'all deal with that shit.
Yeah. So, and I've never been a fan of the superhero zombie crossover stuff. It's just not my jam. I love characters. I just don't want to see them in a zombie apocalypse because I care too much about the characters. But hey, good for the fans of Marvel Zombies, both for the comic book and for the upcoming animated season 2.
Season 2. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Here's my thing about it. I enjoy the Marvel Zombies concept as a part of the what if thing. Like I enjoyed the little episode that they had during the what if run, the first season of What If. And I enjoyed in small doses like that. I don't know if I could do a whole series of Marvel Zombies, like or a whole television show or a live action movie of Marvel Zombies. Like,
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I could do that, but in small bits, like I said, in an episode here, an episode there, we revisit this universe where, all the superheroes slowly but surely became zombies. Like I'd be down for that, but on a regular basis, nah, miss me with that. All right, there is some rumors flying around that a Poison Ivy TV series may be in the works. But it has not been said if it's going to be set in the DCU or in Matt Reeves' universe.
Yeah.
So is this going to be live action like the Penguin?
I am unsure.
Yeah, it's a live action. It says Jeff Snyder,
live action Poison Ivy TV series.
Yeah, live action Poison Ivy TV series. I don't know. Like, here's the thing about it. I think that Marvel did this too, and I think that DC is going to end up doing it too. I think that at a certain point, they have this tendency to overrate the potential popularity of non-main characters.
I don't think that they overrate it. I think that they just keep going to the well constantly with certain characters in there. I mean, and they think that it's all interchangeable.
Yeah.
That, hey, this Zack Snyder guy, he does great comic book films. He did great with 300. He did great with Watchmen. Let's have him do a Superman movie. And we got Superman with the aesthetics of Batman, which doesn't work. Poison Ivy is fantastic, but she works best as a tandem with Harley Quinn, as we see in the Harley Quinn animated film or animated series. I would much rather have another season of Harley Quinn. See if they can, go. Speaking of going to the well for another bucket of water, I would love to see if they can do it. I don't know if they can though, with where they've left off after season 4. But in the comics, Um, there is precedence for Harley and Ivy to start a family,
To start a family.
where Ivy creates plant-human hybrid daughters.
Now that
And
would be interesting to
I don't
watch.
know if they came out of a pod or if they were fertilized eggs that they do. Don't know, but they got 3 of them. Hazel, Rose, and I think Willow are their names.
Okay.
So I think that would be great, turning a great season 5 of Harley Quinn, um, where they're now having to deal with momhood and growing a family in midst of everything that they're doing.
Okay.
But anyway, that's my.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And I do have to admit that the MCU has been one of the benefits of the MCU is that they've had relatively tight continuity.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas DC has all these amazing projects that aren't connected to the main DC universe that they're trying. They're once again spreading out too much. You've got the James Gunn universe with Superman, Supergirl, Creature Commandos, and who knows what else. You've got the Matt Reeves Batman universe.
Yeah.
You've got the My Adventures with Superman animated universe. You've got the Harley Quinn universe. So that's 4 separate universes in there that they need to find out, and they need to define the connection with each other, even if it's just Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, blah blah blah.
Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3. That shit, they just kill me.
Dude,
the new Earth was Earth Prime.
Yep. Earth 52.
Earth
50. Earth 11, where it's all gender swapped.
So Superman is Superwoman, and Wonder
Batman,
Woman is
Batgirl, Wonder Woman is Wonder Man. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. Is and imagine Marvel's Hercules wearing Wonder Woman's outfit. That
oh my god.
That's it. Yeah. I won't post the visual.
Somebody had a bad dream on that one. Somebody had a bad dream.
Someone had a very bad dream.
So in other good news,
Justice Universe.
In other good news, Saint came in last week with us and gave us a stirring review of Scary Movie 6.
Yes, he did.
It's definitely made for people like ourselves in our generation. And it led to some people asking about, with the Scary Movie success, would we potentially be seeing a reboot of In Living Color? And for those of you who are not old enough to remember, In Living Color was a comedy sketch show that was flipping hilarious for about a 4 or 5 year period of time on Fox. I would love to see it come back. I think I agree with, I believe it was Sean Wayans or Marlon who was being interviewed, in which he said, where is it? It says maybe calling it
calling is
to reboot In Living Color. The only people who can do it is us. I'm trying to see which Wayne's brother it was, Marlon. Some things you don't need to resuscitate, which I agree with him. In Living Color was an institution. He wishes it was still around, but it's hard to execute that level of humor every week for multiple years. And they have to be in it. It says in Living Color died one season after Keenan left because he was the beating heart of the show, which is true.
Yeah, it was the Wayne brothers and their buddies.
Yep. And then I'll say this. I'll finish up his quote by just saying he was also quoted as saying, but if you asked him 15 years ago if he would have been doing another scary movie, he'd have told you hell no, the ship had sailed on that. But yet here we are. with all the Wayans being involved in yet another scary
Yeah.
uh, movie.
Yeah. I mean, and the list of Hollywood careers that launched, I mean, the Wayans
Jamie
family,
Foxx,
Jamie Foxx, um,
Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey, Tommy
Yep.
Davidson,
Yep.
um,
Well, okay, Tommy
Denzel
Davidson
Greer.
is one that's iffy, and the only reason why I say it's iffy is because Tommy Davidson was kind of already on his way up before he
Right.
started on Living Color. Like he in the comedy scene itself, like his
Mhm.
stand-up acts were getting some traction, and he was starting to be known.
Right.
Also through Robert Townsend as well helped get Tommy Davidson up off the ground. But yes, I agree that in Living Color, like definitely like he had on a smaller backpack, and then the Living Color was that larger backpack rocket pack that just shot
Right.
him into the stratosphere.
Same with Jim Carrey, because
Yes,
Jim Carrey had already been in a Hollywood film before
yeah,
in Living Color, a little known, really funny comedy, Once Bitten. That
once
was
bitten. Yes,
pushing the edges of PG-13 comedy for the
yes.
for the time.
I
But yeah,
actually loved him in that movie, and that's one of
yeah,
my favorite movies. I 100%. Uh, but yeah, like and their careers got kind of like I said, a rocket ship strapped to the back of it, and they
through in
took
Living
off
Color. Yeah,
through In Living Color because you really had to have chops in order to go in Living Color because a lot of their shit was written, but a lot of their funniest moments happened on the fly, like
yeah,
just people ad libbing in the middle of a scene and
yeah.
saying some just really
Early
really funny ass shit.
early Saturday Night Live, and
Yeah.
definitely SCTV vibes in there of
Yes.
being able to improv through the flubs
And
in there.
I was actually talking to somebody at my job the other day because she brought up that like her kids, she was telling her kids that they don't remember, they don't really know where the Simpsons came from. To them, that like with my daughter, like Simpsons have been around for 35 years. She's only been around for 18. So the Simpsons have literally been around her entire life.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, but she goes, a lot of these kids don't remember. And she goes, that I used to watch The Simpsons when they were a small bit on the Tracy Ullman show. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, Tracy people. I was like, people forget that Tracy Ullman, SCTV, Kids in the Hall were a thing. Like for the
Mhm.
longest time, like they were some of the hottest shows out of Canada. You Can't Do That on Television was another one.
Yep.
That was a kids show that was hot out of Canada. But like it was just as funny as anything any Saturday Night Live episode you could watch here. You know,
Yeah.
and so and so what to see that from it basically to me the In Living Color or Saturday Night Live basically are the top tier American versions of those same types
So,
of skit shows, along with Mad TV is up there too.
yeah.
Uh, go on.
So speaking of coming out of Canada, you know how we got Bob and Doug McKenzie, the Great White
That
North
was
Brothers?
SCTV.
Yeah, it was. But do you
Yeah.
know specifically why they did it?
Uh.
Okay. So they were broadcasting out of Canada.
Uh.
And at the time, Canada was trying to get a more patriotic vibe going. You know, just like in the
Yeah.
80s, had Made in the USA happen and all that stuff. So
Right.
Canada had recently passed a law that any um, broadcast show originating in Canada
Mm.
must have a certain amount of pure Canadian content. And
So
so
they created that skit
they
just to
created Bob and
satisfy.
Doug just to satisfy that rule.
That's insane.
Yep.
Oh man, that's insane. Those guys, it was funny. Those guys, I always told my friends, I was like, not in a literal like one to one fashion, but they always reminded me of Hans and Franz from Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live,
Yeah.
like in the way that those characters were done. And for those of you guys who don't know, who aren't old enough to remember, it was what was it, Dana Carvey and Kevin Nealon.
Yes.
where Hans
Hear
and
me now
Franz,
and listen to me later, or watch me later on your VCR.
they were basically bad Arnold impersonators.
Yeah, wearing
And yeah,
sweatshirts with balloons
the fake
under them
muscles.
for the overdeveloped
Yeah.
muscles. Yeah.
We are here to pump
Pump
you
you
up.
up.
Oh man, that was great. Hans and Franz will forever live on. I'm surprised they never
And
got
that's
their own movie because a lot of the other skits during that time got their own movie.
and that's how just absolutely everywhere Hans and Franz were, is that,
Yep.
30 years later,
Mhm.
unprompted, Dark Lord and I can perfectly sync up that pump clap you up
You up.
in perfect cadence.
uh, it stuck with me, but I will never. I didn't. Here's the thing: when I watched Saturday Night Live, I didn't catch much of the
Mhm.
Gilda Radner, Jim Belushi.
Oh,
Like I saw all of that after the fact. Like
yeah,
after I came
yeah,
in to Saturday Night Live during the Kevin Nealon, like that type era. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched some of it here and there, but I was a kid. Like even
yeah.
on Saturday nights, I was in bed by 10:30.
Oh, yeah.
Like there wasn't staying up till midnight to watch Saturday Night Live till I was like almost in high school.
Yep. Yeah.
And
And it was never
so
really a thing for me.
yeah,
It's, um, because my Saturday nights when I was in high school were primarily Dungeons and Dragons and other role playing games. But
yes,
um, through the wonders of the internet, I caught up on a lot of. I knew a lot of
mm-hmm,
classic Saturday Night Live skits, but I'd never really
right.
watched them. I could.
If you guys don't know it, he just mentioned classic Saturday Night Live skits. Check out the James Brown, Eddie Murphy skit,
Hot
and
tub.
yeah, hot tub. Hey.
Eddie
It's one
Murphy
of the funniest things you ever
revitalizing.
see.
Yeah, with Eddie Murphy with the uh, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
the
Uh-huh.
the Reginald, the Velvet Johnson Technical College. Send away for your free copy of I Want to Be a Hoe.
I want to be a. I'll say yeah. Eddie Murphy had some of the best skits
Eddie Murphy,
like
and
ever.
before then, um, the dynamic duo of Jim Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, not just with the Blues Brothers, but with
Uh-huh.
the Olympia Cafe cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger. No, no
uh,
Pepsi, only Coke. Or no, no
I will
Coke, only
say
Pepsi.
I will say, as far as popularity and pop culture ingrainment, it Saturday Night Live kind of reached its peak in the I would say mid to late '90s, early
Yeah,
2000s, and then kind of slid off from there.
right.
Like during the Adam Sandler, hey, what's up, Wood? Thanks for tapping in,
It
boss.
would. Yeah,
Appreciate you tapping in. But yeah, so like I'd say like during my high school years is when Saturday Night Live kind of hit its peak, '91
yeah.
to '95, and it
Church
started
lady,
tailing off
opera
around
guy,
'99.
and
What's up?
church lady, opera guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
What was it? The guys
and
with the
oh yeah,
that made that song, the
what
Hadaway
is
song so
love?
popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't
Well, they
remember the name, but
remade it
Night at the
popular.
Roxbury.
It was
Yeah,
already popular when it first
Night
came
at the
out, but they made it.
Roxbury.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but all right, I'm gonna move us forward to the subject I know you'll probably want to talk about here.
yeah,
Combines two of our favorite things, and that is comic books and role playing, tabletop
yeah.
role playing. As there has been a Batman Gotham City Chronicles tabletop RPG officially announced. Do
Right.
you know anything about this, sir?
Okay,
Have you
so
heard anything?
I was catching up a couple of years ago. Monolith Games did a Kickstarter for and has successfully funded a tabletop game called Gotham City Chronicles. So this is a tabletop board game where you're playing members of the Bat family, and you're fighting Gotham's villains.
Yeah.
Kind of like you remember, Hero Clicks, where you're just playing with miniatures and you're doing these little superhero punch ups.
Uh-uh.
Okay, so it's kind of a skirmish board game, and it's a narrative board game in
Yeah.
that, okay, who are we going after this week? And so you're playing Bruce, Tim, Jason, Dick, Barbara, Steph, Cassie,
Yeah.
all the Batman, and you're trying to take down. Oh, tonight's villain is the Penguin, or tonight's villain is the Riddler or the Joker or something like that.
Yeah.
So it gets that kind of 60s Batman special guest villain um, bit. But
Nice.
yeah, so it did very well. It's very popular, and as part of the Kickstarter, um, they also released a role playing game version of this, um,
Uh,
which you'll get a lot of tie-ins with these IPs in there. But now they have the role playing game available for sale on their website rather than just being a Kickstarter exclusive. So it's going out
gotcha.
to the
Gotcha.
masses.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
and
So
there's
everybody gonna get their shot to play Gotham
right,
City Chronicles.
yeah. Um, but in it turning it into a role playing game rather than as sort of a sandbox um, board game where you have
Gotcha.
some narration going on in there, but not as much as you do in a role playing game. Like
Uh-huh.
a lot of times these things happen. Like
Yeah.
with the Star Wars role playing game, Fantasy Flight, who has been the most recent license holder for the RPG license, they put out
Mm.
their role playing game, and at the same time, they put out a miniature combat game called X-Wing, which
Okay.
focus on just dogfights and individual ship-to-ship combat. Well, then
Okay.
that more into Star Wars Armada, which is getting the big capital ships involved in fighting each other. And then now they've gone into there's two different Star Wars skirmish games. There's um, Shatterpoint, which is more individual characters facing off against each other. So you're
Mm.
going to have an Anakin and Obi-Wan versus a General Grievous and someone else. And then there's Star Wars Legion, which is kind of squad level Star Wars 40K, where it's more
Okay.
about doing battle with the unnamed masses, and sometimes you'll get an appearance of named characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. It's great synergy, and
Mm.
it also opens up both the board game and the role playing game crowds to each other because there's a lot of people who are just dedicated board gamers who don't
Uh,
really want to get into the role playing game aspect, and there's a lot of dedicated role playing gamers who don't really want to get into board games.
so this is something that may appeal to both, but may
Right,
appeal to neither at the same time.
that's
Uh,
true. Yeah,
well, I'll say Wood decided to finish off the lyric for us with a little "What is love, baby, don't hurt me." I can hear him singing it right now.
yeah. Dun, dun, dun,
That
dun, 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 dun,
my
dun.
my favorite scene in that entire movie will always, always, always be him doing that dance and then smashing his head into the
Into the
window
window. Yep.
and breaking the window, and he's like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah."
Chris
But all right,
Kattan.
so the
Speaking about another Saturday Night Live alum whose career didn't really survive
uh,
outside of Saturday Night Live. But yep,
who was that?
Chris
Oh,
Kattan.
Chris Kattan. Yeah, unfortunately, he was actually pretty funny. Like I really liked him. Uh,
Yeah,
but I'll say, all right. So let's see what we have coming up next. We have a little bit of the Last of Three or Last of Us season 3 cast Batman star Peter Sarsgaard as a newly created character. So I wonder,
yeah.
shooting has
Hold
gone
on.
on hiatus. The show may
Okay,
return in 2027.
I'm just
He's
trying
taking on
to.
the role of Ammon, one of the leaders of the Seraphites.
Yeah. So not somebody that I know very well,
Mm,
um, but and just looking at the name, okay, he played District Attorney Gill in The Batman.
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I just looked at that name and it's like, oh, another Skarsgård. Nope, Sarsgaard, not Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. My bad.
Yeah, no, it is Sarsgaard.
Oh, it is Skarsgård.
Sarsgaard, yes. I thought it was the legendary Skarsgård acting
Oh,
family, where
oh,
Alexander and uh, dude from um, dude from Andor, who was the inside. What have I sacrificed?
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure who you're talking about. But
yeah,
I will say this. Um, no, Wood, it was not Chris Farley. He's thinking Chris Kattan. He
yes,
was a member of it was the late 90s, early 2000s Saturday Night Live
yes.
troupe.
Mango,
And Mango, yeah,
Mango,
was his character. Um, he did the infamous skit with The Rock as Mango.
yes,
Um, and yeah, so yeah, Chris Kattan, he was one of the Saturday Night Live alum, but
yeah,
and then Will Ferrell was the other one that was the
not the
other
Roxbury. Yeah.
yeah, not the Roxbury guy. All right, so
I just thought of something. That would be a fantastic Saturday Night Live skit.
what
The night
would
the Roxbury guys
uh
meet up with the Wild and Crazy guys.
oh,
Dan Aykroyd
wild and crazy guy, Steve Martin
and Dan Aykroyd.
and Dan Aykroyd, yes.
Yes.
That would have been I wonder, have they done that?
I don't think so. I can't think of it.
I would
Yeah.
have to look it up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Have the Night at the Roxbury guys ever met the Wild and Crazy guys? The Night at the Roxbury characters Steve and Doug Butabi met the original Wild and Crazy guys, the Festunk brothers, Yortuk and Jorge, in a legendary Saturday Night Live crossover sketch.
Okay, so they have done it. Okay.
Yes, it was in season 24 premiere on September 26, 1998, hosted by Cameron
Okay.
Diaz.
So I only had, 30 years to have seen that.
Yes, it says in the skit, the Butabi brothers cross paths with the much older Czech brothers. At a club, both iconic duos try to hit on the same woman, played by Cameron Diaz, using their respective signature styles, the head bobbing, dance-heavy routine of the Butabis and the over-the-top polyester swagger of the Festrunks. Yeah, this is for a quick look back. The original
Yeah.
Czech brothers started the trend of clueless, confident club goers. Yeah, that was my skit right there. I love that. But yeah. So let's see. So hopefully, Mr. Sarsgaard we'll be able to eventually see it, because they said they're on hiatus right now for some reason. And then Saint, I was hoping he would be here for this one because he shared this one with us in the group chat. There's going to be a Batman, Superman, Weird Al, world's weirdest superhero crossover.
Comic book, yeah.
It's going to be a comic book, but I'm still interested to read this.
Yeah.
Like, what is this going to be? What exactly is Weird Al going to do?
Is a one-shot adventure that spans the fifth dimension, home of Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Okay.
Written by Mark Waid, always a good thing. Let's see. The official logline: the fifth dimension is being hit with an affliction that turns everything dull and ordinary. But as Mr. Mxyzptlk reaches out to Superman and Batman for help, the same plague has struck Earth. Instead of dialing H for a hero, there's only one person to call: Weird Al. Get ready for a wild one-shot when the one and only Weird Al joins the world's finest team.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah. He did. Weird Al has guest starred in an episode of Batman: The Brave and the Bold, which is an animated series, which also featured Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Incorporated gang. So this is coming out. Batman Superman Weird Al World's Weirdest #1 will be released on September 2nd.
There you go.
Okay.
So Weird Al fans may remember that this isn't his first time he's crossed paths with the Cape Crusader. The iconic parody singer previously guest starred in an episode of Batman: The Brave and the Bold, one which also featured Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Inc. gang.
That's what I just said.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Oops, my bad, sir. My bad.
I know I babble on, but
you do not have deja vu. Kevin is just an idiot.
So, all right. And, speaking of really wild pairings, Marvel Comics just released their comedic one-shot, Jay and Silent Bob, Jays of Futures Past.
Jays?
Where Jay and Silent Bob go to the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So that just came out. Jay having absolutely zero boundaries and trying to mac on Black Widow, which does not go so well. I think that just instead of just shooting him down with very emphatic niets, Natasha needed to throw punch Jay in that moment.
Yes, right there. Snoochie booches.
Yep.
And then let her say something like that. Let her punch him in the throat and then say snoochie booches.
Yeah. Yep. I've only seen panels of it and pages of it. I believe that Jay and Silent Bob are even more confusing, or even so confusing that Deadpool is trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about. But so that's on Comic Sans right now.
All right. So be on the lookout for that, y'all. It should be fun to find. But right now, we're going to go on ahead and take a quick commercial break, a promo break, and maybe we'll get Saint back for SmackDown Alley. Because right after the break, we'll do a little SmackDown Alley and talk some video games. Right here on Le Cheap Pop Podcast, brought to you by First GenXers Presents. And stay tuned, y'all. Peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the Saint. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the Switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone, I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back. got to keep it. Keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. Keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I've been real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode.
Adams family like dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. Like,
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Well, I always temper this because I think
I did not like the receiving caution tagline.
I've also seen what Chase Center looks like when the Valkyries are fucking playing, so fuck all of you. Because Chase Center is packed no matter what's going on.
all right, and we are back. This time with a little bit of that wrestling talk on SmackDown.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk a little wrestling here. Some WWE King and Queen of the Ring took place this week on Raw and SmackDown. And we're going to open up with a little Raw review and Raw talk from this week's show on the 8th. And let me tell you, it was some fun stuff happening. We'll open up with the women's Queen of the Ring match, which consisted of Liv Morgan taking on Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green.
Chelsea.
I do like Green. Yeah, that's my girl right there.
Took me a little while to realize that Chelsea was dressed up in a light green to do the Statue of Liberty in Paris.
Like I do like the fact that they allow them to theme out their like, you know, what they wear down to the ring and stuff like that. Like Bianca Belair, like I remember finding out through watching, I think it was Unreal, that she actually sews like and does all of her ring gear, you know, for WrestleMania, for all of it. She's the one that does all the sewing and does all the crafting.
Charlotte Flair often does her ring gear based on art that this girl with brain cancer does.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know one of her more recent outfits was based on all of the like friendship bracelets that people have sent to her, and she used them all in her whatchamacallit. Very thoughtful. Yeah. But this match itself was a great back and forth match. You have four veterans in the ring in Morgan, Lynch, Bliss, and Chelsea Green, who all between them have close to 100 years worth of experience in pro wrestling. And these women gave us a hell of a match that finished with the one person I did not want to winning. And so we got Liv Morgan. I would have accepted any of the other three answers. Chelsea Green would have been a surprise. Alexa Bliss would have made sense. Becky Lynch would have been okay.
Yeah.
But Liv Morgan,
Yeah, it was very although it looks like they're trying to push the Judgment Day back over.
Yeah. Well, I think they're definitely trying to get Judgment Day back into the limelight because they've removed them from it for so long. They kind of let them fade into the background for a little bit. So they're definitely trying to bring them up forward.
Right.
But I think there's better ways. I think some of this may have to do with the non-KFAB injury to Stephanie Vaquer. I think if Vaquer was still around, you would see Liv Morgan probably feuding with her going into Night of Champions instead of competing in the Queen of the Ring.
Right.
Or Vaquer would be competing in the Queen of the Ring to get to Morgan at SummerSlam, one of the two.
Which, absolutely sucks. Have to improv on the fly. But they had a backstage where, it's Liv and Raquel I'm pretty sure it's going to be Liv and Raquel in the finals or at some point facing off against each other in Queen of the Ring because they're really pushing that drama. And also pushing that neither Liv, Raquel, or Roxy got any support from the boys in their matches, whereas Dom got some support from JD McDonough.
Yeah,
but
useless support.
Yeah, useless
support just the same.
Yeah.
In his confrontation with Obafemi, for sure.
Yeah,
like that was another part of it. But I was gonna get to that in a minute.
JD McDonough got a chair punched into his face.
Yeah, they tried to basically Dominic Mysterio came out to interrupt Obafemi, who was laying out yet another thing about Brock Lesnar, letting them know that when Brock comes back, they gonna do it again. But what was it?
Oba's size. I mean, when you watch him walking into the ring in that suit, his shoes are literal clown size shoes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oba's a big dude.
He is a big dude, yeah. And it's just like, but yeah. Dom interrupt Obafemi. Oba challenged him, and while Oba's back was turned, JD McDonough snuck up behind him with the chair, gave him a chair shot to the back. Oba goes,
yeah, he does just no-sold it all day. Like, what the hell was that?
And JD goes for another chair shot up top, and Oba just literally punches the chair into McDonough's face.
For sure.
And then Oba turns around because Dom's trying to backstab him, and then Dom just says, "Nope, don't want the smoke." Gets out.
No. Dom comes up and he attacks him, and they both attack him, and then Oba picks up Dom and chucks him across the ring, and Dom lands on his back. And then right as Oba was setting up to give him the fall for grace, JD McDonough pulls him out of the ring, and they run away.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're setting up the Oba versus Dom match next week pretty nicely. Definitely get me interested. But Liv Morgan going over.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're most likely going to see Liv and because I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair and Raquel Rodriguez, and it's going to be Liv Morgan and I forgot who won the fourth one.
Io won the fourth.
Io, yes, it's going to be Liv Morgan and Io Sky. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, Io gave a great promo against Liv for the matchup too.
Yeah, it's gonna Well, I'll say all right. We also had Sol Ruka taking on Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Great match between the two ladies. They showed off all of their capacity. They were pulling everything out of the bag.
100%. Like and I believe Sol won with the Soul Crusher.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things to see that Lyra Valkyria is where she is. She's been a multiple-time champion. She's been a women's tag team champion on the main roster. She's been an IC champion on the main roster. I think eventually at some point she'll move over to SmackDown, and she may eventually hold either the Women's World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
But the Women's WWE or the Women's WWE Championship, like she is definitely one of those ones that will just take whatever WWE gives her and make something good out of it. And
Yep.
it wasn't like it was that hard to make something good out of a match with Sol Ruka. But you look at how young and inexperienced Sol Ruka is really in the ring. Like I said, like they say constantly, and they remind you of Michael Cole and them on the commentary. Sol Ruka just started wrestling like 4 years ago.
Yep.
Like she's a former gymnast.
Yep, from OSU or no, University of Oregon, not OSU.
Yeah. But she is an amazing athlete who gets in the ring and gives it her all with everybody.
She is fantastic.
And her and Lara Valkyria are made from the same thing, or from the same cut from the same cloth. They both give it all.
Same strategy. Yeah, athletic, high flying. Yeah.
Yep. Oh God, hold on. My mic fell again. Pardon me. All right. So the next match after that was what I thought was the main event of the evening until I realized that we had another King of the Ring qualifier to go. And that was Penta taking on Rey Mysterio
for the
Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
Easily match of the night to me.
Fantastic.
Period.
Absolutely fantastic. Great lucha. Both of them, again, pulling out deep from their repertoire and evenly matched. Rey still has it. Either Rey still has it, or Penta is just that good at making his opponents look that good. And
Rey still got it. It's a little bit of both. Rey still got it. Yeah. Like I'll say it like this. This is what I hate. This is what I hate that some, or not you in particular, Dave.
Yeah.
But this is what I hate that some people miss when it comes to whether or not a wrestler can still go. Is there's a difference between being able to go 7 nights a week or 6 nights a week, 5 for house shows and then doing TV once a week, and being able to go a match every few months or so.
Right.
Ray's at his point where Ray's only going to do maybe 2 or 3 matches, maybe 4 or 5 over a 6-month period of time. Yeah. So in those instances, Rey can still go.
Yeah.
But if you were to have Rey have to go every single night,
if Rey were jabroni, yeah.
I don't know if his body would hold up the same way, and I don't know if he would still be able to go as hard as he goes in the ring. But for what is basically, and now mind you, I think that this match kind of proves that we're winding down Rey's career.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think that is because Rey had zero reason to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Rey's held the title like multiple times before.
Right. I think that I think that the reason to get Rey the IC championship is to give Dominic more reason to challenge his dad in title at AAA match, so that Rey goes out with both the IC and the AAA Mega Campeon.
If Rey had never won the IC title, I would agree with you. But the Rey Dom story is there regardless of whether or not you have a championship involved in that match.
Yeah, it's just,
and I think
are there too many sprinkles on the Sunday?
I feel you. I feel you. I'm like, but like, and I think to me, just on the opposite side, that match means a lot more if it's just for the AAA Mega Championship, because that's the one title Rey never won.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So because I think it's here's something that I thought about a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about, we kind of brought it up a little bit about the Dom and Rey thing, is that's a match that you can do really easily, have Dom lose and not lose anything. Like have Dom lose, have Rey win the one championship he's never won that he always should have and wanted to win, that AAA Mega Championship, and then have him retire and vacate it.
Right.
And then you can bring in, now you can have the stars of AAA go after it. And now you end the whole run with Dom holding it, and he can go on to do whatever he needs to do in WWE.
Even more, having Rey retire after winning it and vacating, have Rey's speech say, Rey in his speech, tell Dom, I am proud of you for how hard you have fought. And so you start getting the father-son reconciliation
Yes.
to wrap up the career as well.
Because I think you're going to because like I said, they just hired, for those of you who don't know, Ray was just assigned to AAA, to use to coin a baseball term. But no, he is the new general manager of AAA.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to be seeing Ray a lot. I think Ray's WWE career is winding down,
Yeah.
and we're going to see. But that's why I mentioned the whole thing about they didn't necessarily need to have him. I think this was just a dream match for him. I think he wanted to get in the ring with Penta, and this was WWE and Triple H making that happen.
Right. And so getting back to the match, Ray and Penta going at it straight up. And then we got interference from Rusev and Ethan Page.
Yep.
And Penta's down. And Rusev rips Ray's mask off.
Yes.
Which then
Dragon Lee comes out.
Dragon Lee, comes in. Dragon Lee comes in. Penta recovers, and they're covering Ray up with a towel.
Yeah.
Rusev and Ethan Page are like, ha ha ha, we got your mask. And then who comes out? Chad Gable.
Yeah, he comes out
earlier in the promo. He first talked to Ray to apologize for being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray's like, look, man.
No, at first he talked to Penta, and then Penta said, "You know who you got to apologize."
Oh, right. It was to Penta,
and then he went to Ray and apologized. And even Ray at the end of it. Now I know here's what's funny is everybody thought that they were leading to him apologizing to all of the luchadors, and he did apologizing to Ray, Dragon Lee, and Penta. But really, his big redemption moment is going to come when he apologizes to Alpha Academy.
True.
I can almost guarantee you when he apologizes to Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine. Because remember, hold on. Sorry. Remember, out of everybody that he did wrong, those were the three he did the wrongs. You know what I'm saying? He did it and was the loudest about it.
And speaking of Alpha Academy, we're starting to see some cracks in that with Maxine getting a little too big for her britches, I think.
Well, she's just getting a little too attached to Austin Theory, and his big head. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with it.
See what happens there. But so Chad Gable comes in, takes on Ethan Page and Rusev at the same time, knocks him out of the ring.
It's about 25 German suplexes.
We are not kidding. It is literally 25 German suplexes between the two of them. And
every swing that Ethan Page and Rusev took, they took a German suplex along with that swing.
Right. Mask gets dropped in the ring as Rusev and Page are retreating, and then Chad picks it up, looks at it for a little while, then goes over, hands it over to Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee gets it back on Ray's face.
Mm-hmm.
So
then he gets a handshake from all of them in the ring. It was a very poignant moment that I thought they built up very well to.
From the AAA match to this So we only need to see what's going to be going on with American Made.
Yeah, with American Made. All right. So then the last match of the evening was not only a great match, but it had a surprise finish for everybody to see. And that is
the King of the Ring quarterfinal.
A King of the Ring quarterfinal fatal four-way match between Javon Evans, Mr. Bouncy himself, Seth Rollins, Ricky Saints, and Tala Tonga. I thought for 100% sure we were going to be getting Roman and Seth, and Seth was going to win this. But instead, we got Mr. Bouncy himself, Javon Evans,
the OG,
advancing on to the next round to go face Jey Uso, which we'll get to later in the next round of the But it was a hell of a match because Tala Tonga dominated most of the match. And that was a theme. If you really watch the men and the women's King of the Ring match, there was always 3 like mid-sized to small wrestlers and one powerhouse.
One powerhouse.
Yeah, one physical powerhouse. Like Obafemi was the one in his. Lash Legend was the one in her match.
In hers, yeah.
Roy Steves was the one on Friday night. Yeah. And so it was interesting to see how they did it like that. Well, in this match, it was Tala Tonga.
Yeah.
And it took a lot. I will say this: the way that they finally took out Tala was pretty cool, because you had Tala Tonga was clearing the announcer's table to put Seth through it, or put somebody through it. And as he was, he got hit. I forget who by. He got hit and ended up like bent over the announce table. And Seth came running along the announce table and stomped him into the thing. Then ran back across the announce table, jumped onto the guardrail where Tala Tonga was kneeled over by the pole, by the ring post. And then he hits him with a jumping stomp off the top of the barricade to finish him off and lay him out for the rest of the of the match, making it basically a triple threat between Ricky Saints, Seth Rollins, and Javon Evans. Now, no offense to Ricky Saints, but I knew from day one you wasn't winning it, bro. Like it was never going to be.
It was good. It was good exposure for him because I think he's on SmackDown. So, but good exposure for him to the other side, and good build up for him. Repeated mentions that he's kind of the disciple of Cody Rhodes. So.
Yeah. And so it's something that is interesting to see. Now mind you, Cody Rhodes and him go back to the AEW days, when they both wrestled for AEW, so that they've known each other for a while. But Javon Evans managed to sneak in. It says nonstop action. The Vision attacked Rollins, allowing Javon Evans to get the victory with an OG cutter. Yeah.
Braun Breaker and Austin Theory screwed Seth over.
The current tag team champions.
Still no word on Paul Heyman, whether he's been taken off life support or not. The only one that got hit harder by a Braun Breaker spear was I Show Speed at that Royal Rumble.
I love it when people get what they deserve.
And I Show Speed had a near-death experience. You literally can see on the footage from that Royal Rumble, Speed's soul just kind of just drifting out of the body for a little while.
Let's say, ended up costing him. Let's see. I'm trying to check and see if there's anything that we really missed from Raw. No, not really. LA Knight and JC. LA Knight cut a promo in the middle of the ring. He was interrupted by Jey Uso, who, I've always been a defender and a fan of Jey Uso. With this particular promo, I was like, I don't understand what you're doing here.
I think they're trying to switch Jay out of main event Jey Uso Yeet mode and make him more aggressive, almost the heel for the mini bloodline.
Well, it's like this. Jay's always been a hothead, dating back to the first run of the bloodline.
But it's catching up with him. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, the promo he cut, it just didn't feel like it was a part of the storyline. He was just yelling at LA Knight that he was going to win the King of the Ring match and win King of the Ring and go get Cody Rhodes. Like it didn't make any sense. Then why are you sitting here talking to LA Knight? You should be talking to Cody Rhodes. Right. Like
it shows that he's starting to come unhinged. And
right.
He's starting to make everyone enemies, even people that he shouldn't and doesn't necessarily have to make enemies. He's starting to crack under, he's Roman's shot caller.
Right.
And
Roman the most out of him because he's done the most out of everybody.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of it, and I think it's going to lead into, like you said, this whole storyline where it's going to be Jay that turns on Roman at a certain point to close up that storyline.
I think I could see Jay turning on Roman at a point in which it's inconvenient for Roman, and I'll just leave it at that, like without trying to pinpoint a specific time. But all right, so that takes us on over, and I know you're unfamiliar with this lineup, so I'll kind of walk us through it.
No, it's all good.
Friday SmackDown on 6/12 this week was actually pretty good, like in the sense of it's setting up the different things that it needed to set up. We had a Queen of the Ring qualifier match in which Charlotte Flair defeats Sol Ruka, Laura Valkyria, and Jade Cargill. It was a hell of a match because you did have the interference of Jade Cargill's cronies and Mia Yim and B-Fab, that they were run off. Michin and B-Fab, real name, her old name used to be Mia Yim, but now she goes on Michin. I forget that.
No, that's all good.
But it was a match in which they were run off by Tiffany Stratton and Alexa Bliss, which was just a random combination. And they ended up, and those four gave us a match worth watching like tenfold. I will say this every single time. Jade Cargill gets better and better in the ring every single time that I see her.
Yep.
Every single time that I see her. And so this was just another one of those runs. And now again, no offense to Charlotte, I'm glad that she won.
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily see her as the one that should have won. And I will say this, I genuinely think this should have been Sol Ruka. Like Jade Cargill won Queen of the Ring last year, so there was no need for it. Should have been Sol Ruka or Lyra Valkyria. But if you really want to eliminate Lyra Valkyria the same way we did Jade Cargill because of past experience, Lyra Valkyria was in the Queen of the Ring finals like 2 years ago. Okay, so really it just should have been Sol Ruka. Like Charlotte Flair has enough accolades to her name. She doesn't really need Queen of the Ring. She's already the queen, Charlotte Flair. Like, come on. So that's my feelings on the match. But the match itself was amazing. Like I said, I can't help but to compliment Jade Cargill and her ability as she continues to move through the ranks of WWE, in which it looks like she may be going after the U.S. title now. With Rhea, which, by the way, that's something we'll mention right now. It's been not rumored. It's been said that Rhea Ripley was hurt during the European tour, busted up her knee, so she's going to be out for a little bit. They're not having her relinquish the title, which is why I don't know whether or not it's kayfabe or not. But I think that so we may see Jade Cargill shift gears and go after Tiffany Stratton in the women's U.S. title, and since the WWE Championship is off the board for the time being. In a surprise match, we had the AAA Cruiserweight Championship defended on SmackDown this week. And for those of you who don't know, who keep asking, where's he at? Your current AAA Cruiserweight champion, as of the same event with the Mass versus Mass match, I keep it, Los Neros des Nachos.
Los Noche de los Grandes.
De los Grandes. Ray Phoenix beat, fucking God, who did he beat? They said his name a million times too. But he beat the current Cruiserweight champion to win the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. And they're just like they did with the Intercontinental title, where right after Dom won it, he went and defended it in AAA. Ray Phoenix brought the Cruiserweight Championship to SmackDown and defended it against Axiom. And man, I love it. I love it. I hope he does it at least every couple of weeks. Like it's great exposure for AAA, and Ray Phoenix can go in the ring, period.
Yep.
Ray has now a new finisher called the Mexican Muscle Buster. That's great. Well, actually, it's funny because, for anybody who's an old fan of Samoa Joe, everybody knows that Samoa Joe used to always do the Muscle Buster. They stopped him from doing it in WWE because it's a little bit dangerous of a move. Because basically you compress the spine of your opponent, you bring them out, and then you drop them back on their back. So it can hurt people. But Ray does a version of it, the Mexican Muscle Buster, where once he gets them out into the center of the ring, he's like spinning them around his head, and then he spins them and then brings them here and drops them in like a power bomb type situation. And it's quite a move. It is quite a move, I tell you. Like, but he defended against Axiom and he pulled off the victory to retain his cruiserweight championship. I hope that they have more of him defending that title in SmackDowns to come.
I mean, you know, getting back also to Rey Mysterio getting into retirement territory, you have the lucha side of WWE is just stacked, not even counting the AAA. Okay. You've got Dragon Lee, you've got Ray Phoenix, you got Penta, and you've got Axiom. You've got 4 guys equal to Rey Mysterio who are just in the prime of their careers.
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, I would say I don't know if I would say they are as good as Ray at his peak, but I would definitely say that they are on their way. They are luchas that definitely have that potential to be as good as Ray ever was.
And they're also able to dip now into the AAA roster for all the fantastic luchas there.
And bring that lucha style to the U.S. It's been in the U.S. for a while, but bring it more forefront and a part of pop culture.
I want to see more of Pimpy and Otis reconnecting. That was just absolutely fantastic in that Worlds Collide Royal Rumble match. That was just beautiful.
Oh, well, it's like, all right. So we also had 2 female tag team matches, one between the current tag team champions, Brie Bella and Paige taking on Fatal Influence. Match that they managed to win with trickerations and fun. And
no twin magic.
Yep. And also Michin and B-Fab defeating Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton as this match developed from a backstage segment where after Tiffany Stratton interfered in the Queen of the Ring qualifier, B-Fab and Michin went after Tiffany Stratton, and Chelsea Green came up with a kendo stick and, well, let's just say stopped them with her Karen energy, screaming at them to get away. And that led to the tag team match, in which unfortunately Chelsea Green took the pin, but it was a great match to help make B-Fab and them look good again after the earlier debacle from earlier in the day. And then when it comes to Fatal Influence, I don't necessarily know if they're killing the momentum. I think that I read an article where somebody said something about if they were going to introduce Fatal Influence like that, they should have allowed them to continue winning until they won a couple of championships and then had start their precipitous downfall. But it seems like they've already started it, and I agree. I think it's a little too early in their run for that. The last match of the night was King of the Ring qualifier number 3 or 4 between Jey Uso, LA Knight. Who else was it? Jey Uso, LA Knight, Finn Balor, and Royce Keys. Finn Balor is a new member of the SmackDown roster. Had a couple of confrontations with people backstage, including one with Damian Priest and R-Truth, where R-Truth still thinks that Finn Balor and him and Damian Priest are the new Judgment Day, which is just hilarious. But the match itself, of course, 4 veterans like that in the ring, you're gonna get some good things. Again, Royce Keys was the powerhouse of the match, had to be laid out before the finish of the match could come. And what was hilarious is that Royce Keys should have had the victory, as he hit LA Knight, who was distracted by some members of the Bloodline, I believe Solo Sikoa. LA Knight got hit by Solo Sikoa with a thumb, or with a Samoan spike. And then Knight gets what's that called? Spike. Dang it, where they pick him up and they drop him on their back. Forget what that's called. But he hit him with one of those, the world's greatest. And then after he hit him with that, Jey Uso, while he was pinning them, hit him with the Uso splash, and then pinned Knight for the 1-2-3 to walk out as the winner and advance to face. I believe I said Javon Evans, correct? Yeah. Mr. Bouncy, because Oba Femi is facing Dom Mysterio. So, but all right. So yeah, that match was fun. Now, one of the other things that came out of this week's SmackDown is that next week we are going to, or two other things that came out of it. Next week we are going to have a World Heavyweight, a WWE Championship match between Gunther and Cody Rhodes. Gunther felt like he was screwed over at Clash in Paris or Clash in Italy, which he kind of was. And so he gets his rematch because Cody said he could have his rematch. And what's going to end up happening here is that Gunther asked for one stipulation, and that was that he picked the referee. Now, after going through the entire night, when Gunther finally got to the point where he was telling Nick Aldis who he was picking, I thought it was going to be Ludwig Kaiser. I thought this was the way that they were going to bring back Ludwig Kaiser into the fold. But instead, he picked Sami Zayn, who recently, over the past couple of weeks, and it was well documented on this episode of SmackDown, has been having issues with Cody Rhodes for the past couple of weeks, as Sami now labels himself as the last real good guy left in wrestling. That's his new gimmick. I love it. But so next week we get a WWE Championship match with Sami Zayn, or with between Cody Rhodes and Gunther, with Sami Zayn as a special guest referee. I'm pretty sure shenanigans are going to ensue. We also had a segment where Jacob was sent by the Tribal Chief to SmackDown to tell Solo that he thinks it's time for him to come home. To which Solo laughed in Jacob's face. And Jacob proceeded to tell him, I took my beat down. I did what I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to live by I'm going to stand on business on my word. And if the Tribal Chief tells me to come for you, Solo, well, guess what, Solo? I'm coming for you. So I think we're going to see Jacob versus Solo again coming up soon here, probably heading into SummerSlam, and probably for the same thing that kind of like Tribal Combat was. If Solo loses at SummerSlam, he's a member of Roman's bloodline again. If he wins, then he's not. But Roman's trying to bring the whole family back together. And then we also had a little confrontation between Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints and Trick Williams and Little Yachty that led to a number one contenders match between Carmelo Hayes and Ricky Saints, their third match. They're tied 1-1. And the winner will get Trick Williams at Night of Champions. So we will see how that one plays out next week. But that's all the storylines coming out of wrestling for today. No pay-per-views this week. We don't. Our next pay-per-view isn't until SummerSlam, right? I don't think they have anything between now and SummerSlam.
Was the Sunday night main event?
Yeah, but that's not until like September. That's
okay. You're right.
So, all right, y'all. So that'll do it for wrestling. Next, we'll jump into Tech Tinkers. He hasn't watched in a few weeks, but his favorite part of the show, and that is. All right, video game reviews. First thing I would like to say is just I haven't had a chance to play any new games, but I have recently started playing 2K20 PGA Golf 2K25, the one with Tiger Woods on the cover, and let me say that game is worth playing. It's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting. But if you set the level to too easy sometimes, yeah. Won my first PGA Tour event by 33 strokes. Yeah, it was fun. But the first subject up has to do with Rockstar Games. And the title of the article just says Rockstar Games just keeps tweeting the wrong things.
Yeah.
Set to deliver will potentially be the biggest video game launch of all time this year, but it wants to talk about anything else. Rockstar developer and publisher of some of the most popular games, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, has been successful with GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2 being two of the best-selling games. Okay, so what did they tweet? Oh, they're saying it's basically what they didn't tweet. That's the issue.
Right.
Is that Rockstar Games is tweeting about anything and everything else that they can find except for GTA 6, which is the only thing everybody wants to know about. Ain't that right, there?
Yep. November 19th, 2026.
We'll see.
Yep. You know, even with all the fan, all the fan dialogue about GTA 6, you've got to understand that with all the delays, Rockstar needs to have a absolutely impeccable social media push for GTA 6.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
You know, they 100%. Need to be 100 on their social media game for this. They can't just assume that, okay, yeah, we're back on track we're going to have it out on November 19th like we last said. Okay, everything's good. You can't just assume that.
You have to basically, as long as people have waited for this game as many times they've heard it was coming out and it didn't come out and heard it was coming out, it's going to need to be a damn near perfect game. Like, I hate to say that because I don't think that anybody should ever expect a perfect game from any developer. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's going to have to be. With all the buildup, it's going to have all the bells and whistles, all the great features. You're going to have to basically bring out a perfect game if you want to have people walk away from the situation saying that it was worth the wait, which is basically what you're going to need in order to sell good copies. Because if you don't have people saying it was worth the wait, yeah. All right.
What's up?
All right. So the next article up is about popular Boon. The belief is that Bethesda's Oblivion Remastered is going to be making its debut on the Switch too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and the source of this is that Oblivion 2 Remastered just got an updated ESRB rating. So they think that it got toned down a little bit just to meet Nintendo's qualifications for being on their system.
Yeah. No, they're finally going to meet the requirements to be able to be on their system?
Yeah, the content requirements. You know,
so basically, they trimmed enough of the game out that Nintendo and Disney didn't want them to have, or not Disney, but Nintendo didn't want them to have.
Yeah.
So now they can release it onto the Switch. Well, good for Switch players. Good for Switch.
Could be sometime before this this holiday season.
Well, go on. Maybe I'll get that for the Munchkin. We'll see. All right. Let's see. The next one, we only got a couple of articles here for video games. This next article reads that Xbox pulls an Uno reverse card on PlayStation. And I want to see what this one really intrigued me when I pulled it up. So the X26 game show was packed with interesting video games, Game Pass announcements, and cool see-through Xbox console controller. Feels very 2000s. Yeah, as fun as the real biggest thing coming out of the event was the confirmation that Xbox console exclusives were coming back, corroborating a rumor from industry insider Jeff Grubb and proving a recent Walmart listing to be outdated. This announcement directly addresses one of Xbox community's greatest desires. And one of the 2 confirmed console exclusives, Gears of War's E-Day, is particularly interesting given a recent PlayStation release.
Yeah. For me, just to know the shout out, Jeff Grubb is a long time TTRPG creator, going all the way back to the 80s for Dungeons and Dragons in TSR. He's the guy who created one of my favorite Dungeons and Dragons setting, Spelljammer. And he translated his role-playing game writing career and transitioned into video game writing. He's done a lot of video game writing on major video game titles that escape me right now. But that's why he's translated over. And yeah, he has his foot in both worlds firmly. Yeah, but console exclusives are going to be for the Xbox, Gears of War E-Day, which
also it says BioShock Infinite, like Clockwork Revolution, is also going to be available on Xbox consoles
in 2027. Yeah. Also, we got a little bit more in depth with some. I know that we went through the developments of Sony and Xbox Game Day State of Play announcement that happened. One that we missed. I don't know if it's going to be on PlayStation. I assume it would be, but Crazy Taxi is coming back.
Really? I remember that game.
And it's actually been so anticipated. It got the Offspring back together.
Oh, nice. Just to do music for it. That was their game. They kind of featured. Oh, I'll say they were featured heavily in the soundtrack for that game.
And that's the soundtrack that goes along with the in-game footage clip for the trailer. Yep.
I can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that. Offspring back, Crazy Taxi back. Did we jump back to the early 2000s, late 90s?
I know.
Crazy Taxi.
Yep. And it's all driving around San Francisco, what they've shown so far. So, including some epic hill jumps, going down Lombard Street, which is the zigzag brick pathway.
Any of you have ever seen the original Real World or the second season of the Real World? They used to always show that Lombard Street in the intro.
Yeah. So interesting thing about Gears of War E-Day is that it's not going to be a sequel to Gears of War. It's going to be a prequel. It's going to be about everything happening with the invasion of or discovery of the what are the alien entities called?
I forget.
The Locust, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it's going to start. And we're getting, I think it's Jason Phoenix is the main character, or Roy Phoenix, not to be confused with the wrestler, is the main character. We're dealing with his father in this, from what I've heard. Yeah.
I always like when they add more to the lore.
Yeah.
You start
so there's another
gear.
There's a different Gears of War that's releasing also on PS5, which is Gears of War Reloaded.
Okay.
So the E-Day is going to be a separate Xbox exclusive content.
Okay. Which that's why the article said something about the most recent PlayStation release.
Right.
It doesn't matter. That's why Gears of War would be. But again, it's not that the whole Gears of War series is going to be Xbox exclusive. It's just that game. Well, I say it's just that game E-Day that's going to be a PlayStation exclusive, or not PlayStation, but Xbox exclusive. So again, I like bringing back exclusivity. That if you want to play this game, you're going to have to buy our system. You know, I think that I will say this: anything sports game related should come out on all systems. Period. But racing car games, you know, RPGs, JRPGs, they can be console exclusive with no issue. But I think all sports games should come out for all consoles and PC. But all right. So final segment. Just wanted to bring some good news to people. Those who are fans of God of War. God of War 2018, according to Screen Rant and Ragnarok, officially free to download for millions of people.
Yep. Because they're both tying into God of War Lawfare.
Lawfare, nice. So you play those games. It's kind of like playing Spider-Man to get to be able to understand what's going on in Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Right on. Maybe I'll go download them. Maybe I won't. There we go. All right. So that will kind of wrap us up for today, unless you got one more for us there, Mr. Dave.
No, not really.
No, not this week. All right. Well, like we were saintless this week. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He had some family stuff he had to take care of. But we're going to jump on into our final segment and then wrap it on up. And that is... And since where can I find you next? The segment where we tell you guys what is next in our lineup and where you can see these pretty faces and hear these sultry voices later on. All right. So where can you find me next? As always, all of our shows, KD5P, Cheap Pop Podcast, and Classroom, you can find them on audio over on Live 365 on the First GenXers radio network. Just look up First GenXers with the number 1 and you'll find us over on Live 365. But as for me personally, you'll be able to catch me in about 2 hours in the classroom with Miss O'Malley as we're going to discuss the NBA Finals with the Knicks winning yesterday and Jalen Brunson winning the Finals MVP. We're going to have a lot to talk about. So be sure to join us for that. And then video game wise, I'll be back on Tuesday with Football Tuesdays and College Football, EA Sports College Football 26. So, Runescryer, where can we find what's going on over there on the night shift this week?
Okay, so last night I had another issue with streaming on the Xbox. So until I figure out what the hell is going on with your product, Microsoft, I'm going exclusive PS5 streaming, which means tonight I'll be back on the night shift, and I'm going to be doing another dip into. Well, I haven't decided whether I'm going to do Horizon Forbidden West 4 nights a week or find another PS2 game to play on other nights on the night shift. Might go with Thief. Might go with Dishonored.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, might go with. Are we already doing what's it called? Mass Effect?
No, I was doing Mass Effect, but I stopped. So
right.
You
might go through the Mass Effect trilogy, leading into Mass Effect Andromeda, or who knows at this point. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be PS5 exclusive for the foreseeable future. But as always, midnight till whenever I start falling asleep again.
All right. And what days is that?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Midnight
Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Pacific
Monday.
time.
There you go. All right. So that means you can catch them tonight at midnight.
Right.
And then tomorrow night, midnight. There you go. All right, y'all. So thank you for tapping in. Saint hope all is well. And we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.